Hello, my name is Erwin Cain. I am your local Republican County Chairman, but more importantly, I am a concerned citizen. I want to give you a little background. On December 16, 1773, a small group of colonists boarded a ship loaded with tea in the Boston harbor and dumped it in the harbor. Why? Excessive taxes. This small act of protest, we now refer to as the Boston Tea Party, was one of the most important events that led up to the American Revolution. A few years later, before our independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote this: "The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and government to gain ground." We see that happening. Our Republican form of government is changing from a representative government to a self-serving political country club at our expense. We've seen our government grow bigger and bigger like an incessant weed, choking out our independence and our freedoms by ignoring our Constitution, wasting our tax dollars, infringing on our freedoms, controlling our lives, and invading our privacy. The freedoms brave soldiers fought and died for, our government now wants to take away. As a recent president put it, if the government is big enough to give you anything you want, it is big enough to take it all away. Folks, freedom isn't free, and it never has been. We're at a turning point, a critical mass. You know, we're finally recognizing the truth of what President Ronald Reagan said: government is not the solution to the problem. Government is the problem. And if you're like me, my discontentment is growing red hot with anger. But I want to tell you, when Americans get angry, good things happen. Look what happened after the Boston Tea Party. Look what happened after Pearl Harbor. Look what happened after 9/11. President Lincoln reminded us in the Gettysburg Address that our government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And now, folks, that's a government that is run by good, common, ordinary people, not by career politicians who are more concerned about sound bites than substance, political correctness than practical thought, and more concerned about expanding their power base than protecting our freedoms. You know, our country our greatest asset is the free will of its people. We've got the freedom to worship, the freedom to govern ourselves, the freedom from incessant government meddling by power-hungry politicians and unelected bureaucrats, the freedom from the epidemic of socialism. And with the sweat of our brow and the fire of our independence, the freedom to embrace the American dream and preserve it for our children and their children. There may come a day when the people of America sit quietly and let our freedoms be sacrificed on the altar of political correctness and short-sightedness. There may come a day when good, ordinary people give up the fight for what is right and what is honest. There may come a day when other people in other lands dictate to Americans how we are to live, what we're to think, and how much we're to pay those bent on our destruction. But that is not this day. So today we stand with thousands, if not millions, of Americans in many cities all across our great country and serve notice on this administration, this Congress, this legislature, and any other elected official or appointed bureaucrat that thinks that the reason for our existence is government and who wants self-perpetuating government for government's sake. To those we shout, you are wrong. You are believing your own lies. It's time to remember those who hired you, for we can and we will fire you. We'll rise up and we'll throw off the heavy shackles of tyrannical government. And the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, we'll fight until we can shout from the mountaintops, free at last, free at last, thank God I am free at last. These rallies across our country are not just symbolic. This is not the end. This is the beginning of our intention to take back our country. So fight to preserve our independence and freedoms. Call your senator, call your congressman, sign those petitions. Email, write letters, get involved. Don't give up the fight. Because folks, if we give up the fight, just like when you overspend, there is a day of reckoning. But if we take our stand today and we fight until this ship is rectified, we can proudly look our children in the eyes as we pass to them the mantle of freedom. Thank you.